So let's start with a foundation. Standard packaging solutions is where we'll make a container out of a polymer, typically high density polyethylene. So you'll take a paraffin, basically a tube of the high density polyethylene, and you'll use air to expand it to the shape of a mold. Now, that's conventional, that's straight polyethylene, and for many liquids, it's suitable. It's good enough, and the liquids don't penetrate into that polymer. But when you really kind of dig down deep, if you were to take a microscope and look into that polymer, you'd realize that polymer is porous, that things can get into the polymer. You want what you're putting in the container at day 1 to be the same at day 100. So foods and fragrances are very sensitive to the actual composition. And if there's a small change in the formulation, that taste profile might change or the smell profile might change. We have clients in industries such as agrochemicals, where there's often a mixture between surfactants and solvents as well as the active ingredients. Think of it as a hot knife through butter. If you put it in there and you put the cap on it without a barrier, you come back and look at that container a week later, month later, you would see the level go down inside of that container. Our portable fuel containers are our gas cans. If there was no barrier, you'd fill it up, and then about a month later, you go out there and look at your gas can, you find that there's half or maybe even less of that fuel that's within that portable fuel container. The barrier itself is effectively keeping those filled goods within the container and not allowing it to absorb and migrate through. Now, Greif has a number of different types of ways to deliver a barrier to a customer. We break it down in really 2 different ways. One, monomaterial surface modification, where we'll do a treatment to the inside of the barrier itself, and the rest of the bottle or the container stays the same. The second is where we'll do a multi-layer construction, where we'll extrude in that paraffin of plastic, there'll be polyethylene and another polymer. And it's that other polymer that is basically the barrier layer. Our preference is the monomaterial because it's easier to recycle, like our in-mold barrier or our SIOX technology over the multi-layer. But multi-layers have been around for a long time and they work. Depending upon the client's filled goods, we'll try to identify which one works best in terms of its technical performance and balance that with what is the cost or the budget that our client might have for a packaging solution. But it starts with the phone call or an email to your Greif contact, because we're eager to provide that solution for you. Very likely it'll involve some testing that either you yourself could do with bottles or containers that we would supply, or some testing that we could design together where we could both collaborate and balance that with ensuring that we can supply the container in the geography in a cost-effective way to meet your requirements.